6 with Melissa Doyle.
Good evening. A Sydney grandmother is finally in hospital tonight after lying on an Abbotsford footpath in agony for almost 3 hours waiting for an ambulance. 3-year-old Francesca Werner was comforted by neighbours as she drifted in and out of waiting for help.
These neighbours and family never imagined they'd be forced to watch an 83-year-old cry in pain.
She's starting to dehydrate, falling asleep.
Francesca Werner was seriously injured after a fall on a footpath at Abbotsford. A neighbour immediately called for an ambulance. And as minutes turned into hours, more people joined to comfort Mrs Werner. They covered her in blankets, gave her water and protected her from the harsh sun. 1 hour passed and they called again.
They advised us that there were no ambulances available, and even if you had chest pains, they couldn't send anybody.
They became increasingly worried as Mrs Werner's condition deteriorated.
To then see her an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours later, literally dropping in and out of consciousness.
Finally, 3 hours later, an ambulance.
It's unbelievable. You don't think that this would happen in this country.
2 paramedics immediately gave her pain relief to stabilise the 83-year-old, who also suffers from kidney disease. Mrs Werner fell over on the footpath just before 10 a.m. She waited in agony and her neighbours and family were told not to move her until the paramedics arrived. The first call was made just before 10 this morning. The ambulance wasn't dispatched until 12:38. It travelled from within a 6-kilometre radius, arriving 40 minutes later. Royal Prince Alfred Hospital is only 10 kilometres away from where Mrs Werner was stranded in excruciating pain. The fury over the wait goes beyond Abbotsford.
The ambulance deal with life and death matters every single day. A delay to a response to a person, yes. Ultimately, people will suffer.
It could have been any one of us, it could have been any one of our parents, and it's not good enough.
Unfortunately, there are other calls we receive at New South Wales Ambulance which forces us to divert our valuable paramedic resources away from the cases such as we saw today.
Mrs Werner and her family don't blame the paramedics. In fact, they shared their story to help them and other patients.
Well, ASHLEA Brown is at RPA tonight. And ASHLEA, what's the Health Minister's response to this long delay?
Mel, Gillian Skinner says that she's launched an inquiry and is demanding answers. In a statement, she offered her deepest sympathies to the patient for the totally unacceptable ambulance delay. Now, I've just spoken to Mrs Werner's daughter, who said that it was an extremely devastating situation to have to sit there and watch her mother in pain for 3 long hours.
Well, it was extremely traumatic to see her on the floor, on the cement. On a cold cement in that sun with a broken... It was very obvious that she had very broken arm.
Now, X-rays did confirm she does have a broken arm. She's doing okay in hospital, but she will need to undergo surgery as soon as tonight. Now, Mrs Werner says that she received a visit this afternoon from an ambulance representative who offered their sincere apologies for the delay. Mel?
OK, ASHLEA Brown, thank you with that live update. Now, if you have a story on ambulance delays, please get in touch. You can email us news@7.com.au. That's news@7.com.au.